Hi everybody, it's Marissa here from Earth Journey Healing with the weekly reading for the 19th of March 2018. And this week I'm choosing to use the deck The Goddess Oracle card by Doreen Virtue. And as you can see, the first card for the beginning of the week is a leap of faith. So what does it mean to take a leap of faith? It means that you have no guarantee about what's going to happen, and it's all about really following your heart's desire. It's really about allowing yourself to jump fully into your passion or a situation or being with a person that makes your heart sing, and fully embrace it in ways so that allows you to feel joy and upliftment. So taking a leap of faith, it's not always easy because our mind has this way of showing us why it won't work, or what we need to be aware of, or all the dangers, or all the things to be concerned about. And so we tend to not allow ourselves to fully embrace life and fully experience life. We tend to hold back a lot of the time because of our fears, and we think that sometimes it could be a thought that nothing good happens to me. So how about letting that thought go at the beginning of the week and allowing good things in, allowing yourself to fully embrace what's good in your life and feel it fully, because that's what this life, I feel, is about really enjoying the moment, experiencing things that we love to do, surrounding ourselves with people that we care about, and letting go of those negative thoughts and beliefs that stand in the way of that and stop us from living fully in our heart. Now, there's always things that happen in life. Things don't always work out the way we want them to, but they always work out the way they need to. So just remember that when you're taking the leap of faith. Trust that whatever's happening in your life is happening as it's supposed to, and embrace all parts of it. And enjoy the ride, really. Coming up to the middle of the week is boundaries. It's all about having boundaries. Now, boundaries can mean a lot of things on a lot of different levels. So we have personal boundaries, we have energetic boundaries, and we have spiritual boundaries. So midweek, you're going to be asked to be looking at your own boundaries and how you interact with others. Are you allowing other people to treat you in a way that doesn't feel right and not speaking up about that? Or are you picking up on other people's energy and taking it on as if it's your own? That can be an energetic boundary that needs to be looked at. Or spiritual boundary could be if you are quite intuitive, that you're possibly picking up on too much of what's going on around you, which doesn't relate to you or doesn't affect you. So it's about really becoming clear and setting intentions around what it is that you are willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. And look, that changes for everybody. It's not set in stone. It really has to come from within yourself. Some people, some behavior is okay. For other people, not so much. And that depends partly on your upbringing. It can depend on a lot of different factors, but it's about finding what your values are in the middle of the week and basically loving yourself enough to say no to the things that aren't in alignment with you, and knowing what they are and saying yes to those things that are. So getting really clear on what's appropriate for you in your life and what isn't. And this could be a turning point or a changing point midweek, where some of the things that may have been okay in the past may not be at this present moment, and that is possibly because you have changed and your feelings about yourself has changed, and you are wanting to be respected possibly midweek, or you're needing to speak up if someone has stepped over a boundary. Now, sometimes when we feel anger or an emotion like that, it could be a an indication that someone has stepped over a boundary. And a lot of the time people won't know that they have. So it's really up to us to take responsibility and speak up. If you can, and if you are needing to speak up, using coming from how you feel is a really good way to respond to that, because that way you're not projecting your feelings onto anybody else. But you can explain how you're feeling, and you can share that with somebody if that needs to happen midweek. And coming up to the end of the week is all about compassion. And compassion is about, I guess, just understanding that we're all doing the best we can. We often give ourselves a hard time, and in the process can make ourselves feel like we're not good enough, we're not doing enough, we're not being enough for others. And this tends to lower our energy and our vibration, and it can have an effect on a lot of areas in our life if we are constantly judging ourselves. If we are judging ourselves, we're no doubt judging others, because others are often a reflection of us. So if you are judging others towards the end of the weekend, I'll just ask that you have a look and see where you may be doing that particular thing also, but in a different form, because often others are a reflection of who we are. Otherwise, we wouldn't see it. So it's really about embracing that within another person, and then also embracing it within ourselves. So know that we are doing our best. We don't know everything. We don't know, we're not going to be perfect on how we go about life. We're not going to do it in the way that we always think that we should. And we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to do things that don't feel right after we've done them. And it's about really accepting that within ourselves and allowing that to be okay. As long as we learn from our experiences, as long as we understand that we're here to learn about ourselves, and a lot of the time we're up against the way we think is subconscious. So a lot of our patterns and programs that are coming through are ways that we learnt growing up, or they're in our genetics. So they actually play a big part. And the way that we can start to change that is by identifying what it is that we're doing, having a look at it, and then having compassion for ourselves in the process. Once we're able to accept ourselves and love ourselves no matter what, then we can start to change the patterns, because it's not until we actually embrace them that we can create change. Often we think that we have to kind of get rid of a part of ourselves, or push it into the background, or pretend that we didn't do something. And we actually need to embrace it. We need to accept it. We need to understand it. And then we need to allow it to be okay. And then we can start to create change, because it's not until we get to that point that true change will start to happen. So the end of the week is really about focusing on what's good in another person, what's good in yourself, allowing that to be the center of your focus, and allow that to expand. If some negative thoughts come up around yourself and others around the end of the week, allow them and just observe them, accept them, honor them. As long as you're not acting on them and hurting somebody else, it's okay. Just explore them and ask yourself why it's coming up, what it's trying to show you about yourself, and what is the next step to help you create the changes that you're after in regards to moving through that. So getting back to the start of the week, it's about taking a leap of faith at the beginning of the week, really stepping into something you're passionate about, allowing life to feel good, going for the ride of just maybe the joy of it, and fully embracing it regardless of where it's going or what it means. And midweek is really about having boundaries with other people. It could be, like I said, it could be energetic boundaries, it could be spiritual boundaries, it could be personal boundaries where you are needing to have some space or some time to yourself, and saying that, look, I'm tired at the moment, I need some time out. and sharing that with others so that they can give you the space that you need in order to recharge or rejuvenate, or do something nice for yourself where you're focusing on giving yourself a bit of self-care. And towards the end of the week, it's about having compassion for yourself or others that are around you, and understanding that, we all have judgments. It's quite difficult to not have judgments. We live in a world of duality, and we do get caught up in the good and bad, the right or wrong. And it's just about taking a step back and seeing it from a different perspective, and allowing whatever you're seeing to be okay, and understanding that we're all doing the best we can with what we know and what we've got. So that is your reading for the week ahead. I hope that helps you, and I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you all for listening, and until next week, bye for now.